After several hours on the bus, we are here at the new Bvlgari Manufacture. I don't know whether it's a new building. Looks like an old building, maybe it's refurbished for the new Métiers studio that is supposed to be opening today.
I think we have to speak to English because not everyone understands our French. We have a bad French accent. No, and other innovations, after I left, Tiger has been the only luxury watch brand to dare the connected watch. No other luxury brands did that, and this is, I think, something extremely interesting. Also mastering the thousandth of a second, which is something that comes straight from sport. So all the brands eventually have written new pages of Swiss watchmaking in just 25 years from a group and people, because Frédéric was just liking watches like I did when we joined the industry. And despite our total ignorance of the industry, we have managed, thanks obviously to extraordinary talents we found and developed in Switzerland, to eventually create one of the division which probably has been within the most creative, if not the most innovative, in the last 25 years. So I take advantage of that because I have the chance to witness the development from day one, virtually. To thank all the colleagues from Bvlgari, from LVMH Watches, who have contributed to turn the LVMH Group into a major player in the Swiss watchmaking industry, which was not obvious or granted when the acquisition of Tiger, Rebel, and Zenith was announced in '99.
Yeah, and we have a portfolio of brands very unique, each with a distinctive positioning, a lot of strength in the market, but also very complementary between Tiger, Hublot, Zenith, Bvlgari on the more jewelry, feminine side, Louis Vuitton, which has a very interesting approach in a very credible and authentic way on the know-how of watchmaking. And in our spirit and our approach, each brand is considered as if it was independent in order to develop its uniqueness, but with the help from the group in terms of know-how, and we nurture a bit of synergies of know-how when it makes sense and it's not damaging in consequence any brands. And I think it's done in a very interesting and organic way, and this is really one of our strengths for the future.
Indeed, we use in certain of our movements, some parts which are manufactured by Tiger, and we're very happy to do that, because on some movements there would be no added value to necessarily do everything internally. Conversely, on Finissimo and Piccolissimo, which are signatures, we do everything internally because there is a signature and the differentiation of Bvlgari ladies watch or Bvlgari men's watch when it comes to Finissimo. Or more common movements, we are very pragmatic, and if we see that one of the other brands of LVMH has a bigger critical mass, it makes obviously full sense to take advantage of that critical mass, which is beneficial for Bvlgari, but also for the brand, having the facility like Chevnez in the case of Tiger for the movements.
What matters for the customer is really uniqueness. How is this product different than what I would find in any other brand? That can come with the design. It can come also with the development, the innovation. But as long as this is preserved and the identity of the brand is preserved, there's no damage in sharing know-how and collaborating in a strong way between brands.
We even exchange key people. Antoine used to be Bvlgari, now he's in Tiger. So it's very fluid, and it's great because, as Frédéric mentioned, as all our watch maisons have not only different DNAs, but master different expertise, this fluidity and mobilities which we can build across the brands are enriching all the brands. And this is also the advantage of being not a big monolithic organization, but I would say a small galaxy of small companies. Well, small, not so much, but we consider ourselves independent, even though obviously there is a group called LVMH, which is our shareholder, but it's primarily a shareholder, and each maison has a huge freedom to develop really what it deems relevant, attractive, consistent, to grow and develop its famous reputation. And each does it its own way, and in so far, I would say, with reasonably interesting success.
And we'll have the opportunity to see each other again very soon. Maybe not for all of you, but at least some of you in Los Angeles for the LVMH Watch Week, where also we'll be able to see the strength and diversity of our brands and the creativity that's put into watchmaking. And this year will be unique because we'll have almost all LVMH brands joining the LVMH Watch Week, which you founded 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was just no. The first one was a year before COVID, 19. Yeah, in Dubai, in our hotel. But we don't have hotels in America, so we have to go somewhere else. So I think when it comes to Bvlgari, you will visit anyway. I mean, this new addition to our habillage expertise, which is very important for us because being a jeweler, obviously high-end ladies' watches, jewelry watches are extremely important. I said we are feminine, and we are not feminine for daily watches like Bvlgari or Serpenti de Burgas. But also for jewelry watches, which are one of our fastest growing segments, like the eye jewelry, by the way. And therefore, for us, integrating Métiers allows to get to the next level in terms of perfection, in terms of creativity, because to really master an expertise, you have to do it yourself. Doesn't mean that we don't want to work with external partners. We are very integrated on the one hand, that's true. We craft most of our movements, most of our dice cases. But on the other hand, for us, we treasure our partners and we want to keep a percentage of our components from outside partners. Why? Because it's extremely stimulating. A company which would make everything internally, I think, is doomed to become conservative and somehow, I mean, a bit self-centered. Conversely, when you work with external suppliers, but when you do yourself, you master also the expertise, you create, I would say, an healthy competition. You create new ideas. You can collaborate also on some projects. And so we want to maintain, obviously, what has made the strength of Swiss watchmaking, which has ever been the collaboration between big brands and a unique network of very, very qualified suppliers to support our growth, to support our ideas. But we believe that on the major expertise making a true Bvlgari, we have to do it also ourselves so that when we work with partners, we know what we talk about.
And if I can also give some perspective on the future, I talked about the 16 industrial sites that we have overall, and we're continuing to invest heavily. We have this opening extension and integration of know-how at Bvlgari that's quite impressive. We recently did the acquisition of L'Épée, where, well, we did the acquisition, but we also have expansion plans, and we'll develop a new site to continue to develop this know-how. We have a project at Tag Heuer in cases at Arnauld, also in Le Jura, not too far from here, where we're redoing completely the site to also expand it. Also La Chaux-de-Fonds, where we expand the main site. Hublot, as you know, and you can see if you're passing between close to Lyon, has a major project to expand and develop their core manufacture, where they'll do well, cases, movements, and they'll continue to integrate know-how. Also, Frédéric maybe closer in spirit to Bvlgari. Saingelégier has exceptional know-how and the project to preserve and develop Métiers them. Also investing on schools. I mean, we have a few schools of watchmaking, and some of these know-hows would disappear without such investments to really preserve them. And last but not least, Zenith, which is a real jewel we have in our portfolio. It's of course a great brand, but it's also an amazing and credible know-how in the world of movements. And we believe we've developed in the past 25 years the brands, not so much the know-how outside of the brands, and we think there's potential to invest and reinvest heavily also on the manufacture to develop Zenith as a credible movement manufacturer for different brands of the group.
And to conclude on Bvlgari, this is not the last investment in expertise. We just started operation now, that is ready. But next year we'll have the pleasure to invite you to discover a new expertise, which will be developed and located not here, but in Neuchâtel, where we do today mostly the assembling, the after sales, and the product development. So it's a big activity, of course. But Neuchâtel will become also a manufacturing center of some key components for us, which today are totally externalized and which we deem important to partially internalize. So the story goes on, and we'll meet next year to discover together one more expertise, which is crucial.
Thank you very much, Frédéric. Merci beaucoup, Jean-Christophe. Merci.
Action. So now we are with Pascal Legendre, the master of chiming watches for Bvlgari. And maybe you can explain us what is in front of you, Pascal. I will translate. So this is the new chiming watches 4 hammers, platinum. Look also at the case maybe on the side, because it's a complicated watch, but it's super wearable. It's 45mm, but on the wrist you cannot feel 45. But tell us about the caliber. Tell us in French. I will translate. Pascal.
Comment? Pardon?
Dis-nous en français le calibre.
Alors, le calibre Grande Sonnerie 404, 4 marteaux, donc, tourbillon avec centrifuge, tourbillon volant avec centrifuge.
So flying tourbillon,
4 marteaux,
4 hammers,
avec poussoir intégré dans la boîte
integrated push button
pour donner
in the
petite et
case.
grande sonnerie. Silence.
So silent mode for chime.
Voilà, en gros.
So behind. How many components? Combien de composants?
Composants, à 850 composants pour ce modèle.
850 components. Combien de temps pour l'assembler?
Alors l'assemblage, environ 6 mois par horloger.
About 6 months to assemble the caliber. Because honestly speaking, so for a chiming watch, the Grande Sonnerie 4 hammers, it's super wearable, and this is exactly what we try to do at Bvlgari. We do very complicated watches, but we don't want them to be in a museum only, we want to be on your wrist.
Workshop that you see, and it's just since 2 days that we entered this workshop and started working here.
On a 4 grands piliers qui sont présentés dans l'atelier pour le moment. Donc on a Arthur qui est au sertissage.
So the first big, let's say, important for presentation for the Métiers.
Vous pouvez regarder après
You can go
cette
closer and see
opération.
exactly.
Vous pouvez checker voulez poser des questions.
You can go to anyone, our colleagues, and just ask or talk or just watch how they work. Feel free.
Ensuite, on a François.
Then we have François.
Voilà, ça c'est beau.
Very rich ideas, a lot of ideas, very rich creativity, and he's constantly. And then we have a person, Alexander, who is being trained by François to work on the marquetry of art stones, decorative stones, as we call them. So, also, je pense qu'on peut expliquer que François est là aussi un peu créatif, de faire une recherche.
The room for the mechanical works, lighted up in really, really funky colors.